back with a masala. You know how we do. Some of you asked for this content earlier. I haven't had a chance to actually get around and shoot it, but basically I understand that you guys wanted to do a breakdown of the Yiannimize Anthem. So here it is. It's finally here. Big shout out to the team at Yiannimize, including the 2Gs, JME, Yanni, Gus, everyone that brought this together. It's been a big tune for me, and I know a lot of you people see me in a video as well, sprinkling that masala. So I just wanted to show you how we made the masala in the studio. So let's get straight into it. Obviously, we've got the brass. Everyone knows this as soon as it kicks off because it's part of that tune. It's like the base, the foundation, and it goes like this. So you guys have heard it, but there's a few secret elements. So this one everyone knows. And that kind of repeats quite a lot through the tune. You can see it. But there's a little secret bit going underneath that, like a lot of people don't know about. So we got another one-shot sample, and what we did is we put that sample through the tune. You can kind of hear it because it's very low in the mix, but it just adds a little bit of rhythm and flavor to that brass sample. So if you listen back to that together, I'm going to turn it up a little bit in this so you can hear it. See, even that little flick at the end, dum dum, right? And then the last of the brass on there is this fat horn stab, and it kind of has a really nice bassy undertone, and I wanted to keep that so it kind of boosts just on the first hit on the brass. So you get all three of those going together, and it's like, if I play it back to you on its own actually, so like that, and then both of them together, you would be doing it like this. Add depth. So that's obviously the kind of main core of what's going on. Things you might or might not hear in the mix are things like the little lead that is going. So my little grime lead. So if you guys check this out, you'll see that we wanted to kind of pay homage to the original grime sound. So we thought a square lead would really kind of bring that in. And obviously me and Gus were going back and forth with some ideas, and I just thought, you know what, this is too retro, too old school to ignore and not having a beat. So we added it in, and this is what you're hearing in the background. Very classic, reminds me of the old freestyles you send from Nokia to Nokia, that kind of time there, you get me? So yeah, on top of that, you got a nice 808 bass. I didn't want to do like an American 808 bass, just wanted the 808 that kind of sounded more garagey, more UK, which you can hear here. You might need headphones for this bit if you're watching it on your phone. So building that up, and then we still got the... That's kind of how that bit was built up. And then obviously we sprinkle a little bit masala, and I know you love the masala. So we got a next section here where we build up the tune. We want to build up tension in that song. So a few effects can really help you do that, and transitions will really help you do that as well. So look for sounds that sound like they can transition you from one section of the song to another. And this is my combination of sounds for this one. So if we just break those down. So this one's one of my favorites here because it's such a dark swoop and it's very cinematic. So off the cuff, it straight away just goes in and goes perfect. Exactly what you would need. So we add that back in, a nice little riser that goes, and these are the manual kind of, let's build up more tension from earlier in the song. And then when we get to the crash, we're really releasing all that tension in the song. Very commonly used in house music. Now, what you'll notice as well is a couple of samples in the background that you're trying to put your finger on. You're thinking, oh, have I heard these before? Like, what are those noise samples? They are these. So one of them is a standard kind of female sample, vocal sample. And then one, I believe they use the same one for Own It by Burna Boy and Stormzy. So have a little listen to this. That's going in the back there. And then you got the next one coming there, right there. So we'll play that one again, just I was talking over it. There we go. And then we get to the glue. This is no beats in 10, I'll tell you that much. We get to the glue. So the glue is where we've got the drums at. And now with the drums, I wanted to keep them nice and simple, reminiscent of like grime, reminiscent of like garage. So you can see the kind of drum pattern we have here as well. And a nice metal snare to finish it off. So So yeah, just nice, easy pattern, nothing too complex. And those whole hi-hats are adding that garage energy, that flying energy. So by this time, you're now listening to something that's fully kind of built up in its tension and released. And here it sounds like this. Then it changes. And this is the lovely thing about it. Now, we know drill's in fashion. We know drill's the biggest thing right now. Big up to all the drill artists out there as well. So yeah, I thought, you know what? I've programmed some drill drums in another project. I would like to put them in this song. I think it would be a nice little start off and a kind of homage to what's going on now. Obviously, the 2Gs are quite young, so I didn't want them to seem like, oh yeah, we jumped on a grime track fully. Like, we wanted to add a bit of a drilly element to it. So sampled up some drums from one of my own other projects, and I used those. So keeping the metal snare on, and just have a little listen to these drums. So typically they'll be faster, they'll be more sturdy. I guess that's the word for them now. But yeah, 140, it kind of just fit there. Obviously, the rest of the track is 140. We don't want to lose that energy. And then here we changed the bass a little bit. So we wanted to get the bass a bit more drilly just around this section. So again, another very garagey, housey type of 808 that we could use, but still in a drill fashion. So yeah, basically that's what makes up the first half of the verse. And then I wanted to really kind of throw it back with a big nod to like Lethal Bizzle and The Explicit, who pioneered the POW sound. And the POW sound is basically the drums that kind of follow a crazy... It's been done before in garage as well, but it's that crazy just energy drums. And it was literally, it came out to this. And the bass line goes back to the original bass line. So like... And then we brought the brass back. Now, the interesting thing is when we brought this brass back this time, completely different style. Because if you actually listen to it, and a lot of people, well, if you got good ears, you might, but a lot of people probably didn't notice this. But did you know the brass is doing a call and response the whole time here? So it goes, and we did this by reversing this sample and pitching it up 12 semitones. So just one whole octave up. And the brass is, again, layered up. And that's what gives you the second section. And obviously the secret masala, the one that everyone's heard recently as well in my other production, Bunga, which was out this year. Shout out to Mookie and Hasib. We did a little scratch effect, which I've been putting in a lot of my tunes. Sorry, Kashmir, you made the sample, but I'm gonna make the hits. So yeah, check this out. Yeah, it goes like this. Love that. It's just so garagey, so old school, so just perfect for everything that you needed. So that's basically how the beat was made in a nutshell, and then it kind of goes back and forth. You can see it's quite looped up. The only thing I will say is if you see this section in particular here, this is JME's verse section. And the thing with JME's verse section is I had a chat with Gus, who is helping me produce the song as well. And he was like, you should give JME his own bass line, like something that just differentiates his JME. So shout out to Trusty Splice, went out to there. So it's still the same drill drums, but if you actually listen to the bass line, it's completely different to the other bass lines in the tune. But again, it's obviously same key. So see a lot more of those wobbles. And shout out to JME's engineers, because I'll be honest with you, when JME's vocals came in, the only thing I did is add a couple of saturation points just to make it sound a little bit more in with the mix that it was. But apart from that, I've never had to drag someone's wet vocals in a track and just mix them without having any problems whatsoever. So shout out to JME's engineers. They're amazing. But yeah, that's basically it. That's how the beat was made. And the rest of the vocal mixing stuff, obviously, guys, I could go through that with you. If you're really into the technical stuff, let me know. Because if you are, then we can arrange to make content around the more technical mixing side of things. But this is basically how the beat was made. And yeah, this is, you can check out all the vocals and everything as well.
This is the Yiannimize Anthem. No lie, you didn't know that we do this. Yes up, older or new, it's small like a mouse, so big like a cruise ship. This is the Yiannimize Anthem. No lying, they know that we do this. Yes up, older or new, it's small like a mouse, so big.
That's pretty much it. I'd just like to say thank you for watching. Make sure that you comment, like it, share it with your friends and family, share it with anyone who's interested in music. And yeah, I'll keep catching you on the other side with that Beats in 10 and that Masala.